Hey everyone, welcome back to some new r/pro revenge stories. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called I Will Not Stop. This happened around 2012. Back then I used to live in Southern Europe. I was a university student in a remote rural place. I had just moved to a new apartment, and naturally my first order of business was to make sure that I have a running internet connection. The problem was that due to the place I was living in being so remote, there was only one ISP provider available. You didn't like the provider? Too bad. Anyway, I signed the necessary paperwork in time, moved to the new place, set up the router and all, and thankfully my connection is fine. That is until day 3 or 4, when out of nowhere my internet connection breaks down, but my phone line was working normally. No problem, I thought. I called the ISP to open my ticket. The representative tells me that they will get back to me soon. A few days pass by and I get nothing, so I decide to call them again. The representative tells me that they are still investigating the problem and that they will get back to me soon. Now this is the point where I'm starting to get frustrated. I know that the internet in the area is fine. In fact, my next door neighbor's internet connection is great. So the problem must be something that is easily fixable, right? Wrong. A week has passed by and I call them again. This time the representative tells me that they have investigated the issue. The problem is officially of unknown origin, which means that they cannot give me an ETA for the fix. I hang up the phone feeling sad and perplexed. As I contemplate my internetless existence, the representative's word echo in my mind. Unknown origin, we cannot give you an ETA. Slowly, my sadness transforms into denial. How is this possible? My phone connection still works, so the line is still there. And I know for a fact that everyone in the area has a stable internet connection. This must be a simple bug that is easily fixable. This can only mean one thing: some idiot has not been doing his job correctly. The denial becomes anger. How dare they tell me that they cannot give me an ETA? This should be illegal. What if my job depends on my internet connection? Not to mention that internet access is a basic human right. They are denying me my rights by not giving me an ETA. At this point, the issue stops being the internet connection, it's about the principle of the matter. As a human being and a customer, I am entitled to an ETA. I call the ISP again and I try to explain my flawless reasoning, with no luck. The poor representative who listens to my rant tells me that the only thing I can do is to open a new ticket. Shocked by my inability to define my fate, I accept his offer and hang up. And then a magnificent idea is born. Since the only thing that I can do is to open a new ticket, then this is exactly what I'm going to do. From that point on, I was calling my ISP provider 2 to 5 times per day. Each time I was telling the representatives the same thing. This is what has happened. I know that there are multiple tickets with my name on them already, but I want you to open a new one. Most of the representatives were pretty amused by my story, and everyone complied. A month later, yes, a month passed without the issue having been fixed, I got a call from the regional tech executive of the ISP. The executive went into a long angry rant and says, "You must stop opening tickets, you are flooding our ticketing system." At first I was shocked at how aggressive the executive was. He was clearly one step away from starting to calling me names. And I knew that the only reason this didn't happen was that these calls are being recorded. And then my shock transformed into a visible glorious erection. You see, my friends, this is the point when I realized that I was winning. Well, are you going to give me an ETA for a fix? We cannot give you an ETA, the problem is of unknown origin. Then I guess I'll keep opening tickets. The executive hangs up without saying anything more. To cut a long story short, this exchange renewed my passion for crushing the souls of those who have wronged me. So I kept opening tickets at the same pace for another 40 or so days. I estimate that in the course of the total around 70 days that this lasted, I must have opened more than 250 tickets. One day my phone rings. I pick it up and it's an ISP representative. "Your problem has been solved. Everyone here is talking about you." Indeed, on that day my internet connection was back. The cool part about this, however, was that I had internet all along. Remember my next door neighbor? She was kind enough to let me know her Wi-Fi password since day one. Our story is called Catfished into Paying Proper Wages. I used to work for a married couple, Billy and Gigi. They owned a business services / public relations agency. It lasted more or less for a year. They seemed nice and humble, but in reality they were shady and untruthful. The company began to falter because of poor management and zero intention to prioritize. Billy was your baby-faced next-door neighbor type. He looked about 10 years younger and had a kind smile. He was soft-spoken and had an artistic and creative flair to him. Gigi looked matronly with a Mother Earth incarnate attitude towards her children. She prided herself on being ruthless when it came to giving her family only the best. She could be really nice when she wanted to, but I found out early on that she was 100% about gossip and being two-faced. The company's constant changes were a red flag. They ran from business services and PR agency to IT provider to a business incubator to indie beer partners. What I'm trying to say is that they tried to dip their donut on everyone's coffee. Some of us had no real way to escape. The lady working next to me was already 67 years old and scared that no one would hire her. I wasn't in a great place either. We were 8 employees in total. They wouldn't lay anyone off because they believed that the employee should quit. They paid us only a portion of our salaries. Employees would run for the hills once they found a better job. But some of us were stuck and it was horrible. Then they would pay the normal rate for a month and then do it again. But they never cut down on their luxury expenses, so the wife would post her shopping sprees or arrive in a new car like it was nothing. Zero empathy, very insensitive. The husband was obsessed with making it big time. So much that he sometimes failed to see an opportunity right in front of him. He said he was Coca-Cola's brand manager. I looked it up and could never find any reference. Gigi had a display full of small local magazines, mostly about design and architecture. They were very proud to be a team member, but in reality they just helped them print 2 issues. They wanted big business only, but in the meantime looked down upon tangible potential clients. Like the young Latino couple who showed up trying to learn more about their services. They seemed lost because they wanted someone to help them set up a coffee business and had no idea how it was done. I talked to them and helped them into the waiting room. They even showed up with their baby in a stroller. That means they must have driven by and decided to come in. An impulsive client should be retained. The guy said his grandpa had a farm and he wanted to create an import-export company. Once Billy showed up, he listened for a bit, then kind of gave them a kind of an abrupt dismissal. That was a stupid move because that couple opened their own business with someone else. It could have been Billy. Billy lined his office walls with posters of Steve Jobs and Elon Musk. His wife, the chief enabling officer, put up signs on each room. The main employee area was the machine room, Billy's office was the chamber, and the conference room was their meeting of the minds. Every time an employee disagreed with Billy during a brainstorming session, Gigi would call them aside. She would tell them that Billy is your boss, you need to know that he is brilliant and a genius, I want him to have the taste of success. I experienced that firsthand. I also hated brainstorming, because that was never my job description. They just wanted to pick everyone's brains. In the meantime, we had to see the Pandora jewelry, the expensive makeovers for their daughters, and the weekend at the spa updates on Facebook. Gigi's captions were usually about rewarding herself after a hard week or because she deserved it. And I'd like to mention that they bought into the social guru phrases about emotional direction. So if an employee ever got angry, Gigi would tell you, remember, the one who gets angry is the one who ends up losing. For anyone who's been in this situation, you may understand how painful it can be. You cannot leave the job because you have no other job waiting for you. And pathetic as it may sound to some income is better than no income at all. This is an involuntary compromise and it's abusive. Why were we expected to pay for their luxuries via incomplete wages? My best friend's ex is into coding and programming and he agreed to help. If it didn't work out, at least we would have something to laugh about. We created a great fake website with a matching LinkedIn and the whole 9 yards. To make a long story short, this was supposed to be an investment company and my friend would be very casual. Nothing too eager. He started by liking my employer's Facebook page, then comment. Before we knew it, my boss took the bait and was engaging. They exchanged emails and he was eager to share all his projects and ambitions. On the other side, the investor sent him a list of requirements like proof of concept and employer payroll. The investor agreed to work with them if they could prove they were legit and up to date. No bank account or confidential info was asked. Within 3 weeks, I was paid the equivalent to the 2.5 months I was owed. The investor did an about face and never contacted him again. I left the job as soon as I could. My friend, who remained until she got paid, told me our boss seemed off and a bit down after he announced big things are coming, but it all seemed to deflate. I never disclosed what was really going on. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to click the like button. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day. Bye bye.